Hero and Leander by Christopher Marlowe. Structure, Summary, Analysis. Hello and welcome to the discourse. Christopher Marlowe's Hero and Leander is an unfinished epilogue or short epic poem that retells the tragic love story of Hero and Leander, two lovers from classical mythology. Written in the late 16th century, the poem is notable for its rich imagery, sensuous language, and exploration of themes such as love, desire, and fate. Though Marlowe left the poem incomplete at his death in 1593, it was later published in 1598 with an additional continuation by George Chapman. In terms of form and meter, Hero and Leander is written in heroic couplets, a rhyming pair of iambic pentameter lines. This meter, consisting of 10 syllables per line with an alternating pattern of unstressed and stressed syllables, gives the poem a stately and flowing rhythm, well suited to its narrative and descriptive nature. Each couplet typically expresses a complete thought, contributing to the poem's elegant and often epigrammatic quality. It consists of 818 lines in its original Marlowean portion, divided into two sestiads, a term Marlowe coined derived from sestos, the home of hero. The total number of lines, including Chapman's continuation, is around 1600. Themes in Hero and Leander include the power of erotic love, the conflict between desire and restraint, and the capriciousness of fate. Marlowe's treatment of love is both celebratory and ironic, blending sensuality with a playful, sometimes mocking tone. The poem also explores gender roles, particularly in its depiction of Hero as a reluctant virgin priestess and Leander as an ardent, persuasive lover. The narration is third-person omniscient, allowing for rich descriptions and digressions, including mythological allusions and witty asides. Marlowe's poem was first published posthumously in 1598, 5 years after his death, and quickly gained popularity for its bold, erotic content and stylistic brilliance. Chapman's continuation added 4 more sestiads, completing the tragic ending in which Leander drowns and Hero commits suicide. Despite its unfinished state, Hero and Leander remains one of Marlowe's most admired works, showcasing his mastery of language and his innovative approach to classical myth. Sources of Hero and Leander. Christopher Marlowe's Hero and Leander draws primarily from classical sources, most notably Ovid's Heroids, epistles 18 and 19, where the tragic love story is framed through exchanged letters. Marlowe also likely knew Marcius Grammaticus's 5th-6th century Greek epic Hero and Leander, which expanded the myth into a full narrative, though his tone is far more irreverent. Additionally, Ovid's Metamorphoses and Amoris influenced Marlowe's eroticized, playful style, while Virgil's Aeneid and Homer's Iliad provided epic conventions to parody. The poem also reflects Renaissance trends, particularly the epilogue, mini-epic genre, popularized by works like Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis in 1593, which blended mythology with wit and sensuality. Marlowe's use of iambic pentameter couplets and mock heroic exaggeration aligns with Chaucer's Troilus and Cressida and Spenser's The Faerie Queene, though his tone is more subversive. The unfinished poem was posthumously completed by George Chapman, who added a tragic ending inspired by Marcius and medieval retellings. Marlowe's synthesis of these sources, classical myth, Ovidian irony, and Elizabethan literary experimentation, created a work that both honors and satirizes epic tradition, making it a landmark of Renaissance poetry. Hero and Leander as a mock epic. Christopher Marlowe's Hero and Leander can be interpreted as a mock epic, a form that mimics the lofty style and conventions of classical epic poetry, while simultaneously undermining them with wit, irony, and playful irreverence. Unlike traditional epics, which celebrate heroic deeds and grand destinies, Marlowe's poem focuses on seduction, desire, and the absurdity of love, treating its mythological lovers with a mixture of lavish praise and sly humor. The poem opens with an epic-style invocation to the muse, but instead of introducing a tale of war or divine struggle, it launches into an exaggerated description of Hero's beauty, comparing her to Venus in a way that borders on parody. Similarly, Leander's appeal is so overwhelming that even Neptune becomes infatuated with him, a moment that blends epic grandeur with comedic homoeroticism. Through these devices, Marlowe subverts the seriousness of epic tradition, replacing heroic conflict with erotic farce. One of the key mock epic techniques in Hero and Leander is the use of bathos, where elevated language is undercut by anticlimactic or trivial subject matter. The lovers' first encounter is framed in terms of epic combat, but the real battle is Leander's rhetorical seduction of Hero, reducing what should be a moment of tragic fate to a flirtatious debate. The gods, rather than acting as arbiters of destiny, are portrayed as lustful and frivolous. Cupid burns his arrows in frustration, and Neptune's pursuit of Leander reads more like a clumsy romantic misadventure than a divine intervention. Even the poem's unfinished state, Marlowe's original fragment ends before the lover's death, feels like a deliberate mockery of epic closure, denying the audience the expected tragic resolution and leaving the story suspended in playful ambiguity. Marlowe further mocks epic conventions through excessive mythological digressions, such as the extended tale of Mockery and the country maid, which serves no narrative purpose except to showcase the poet's wit and highlight the absurdity of epic ornamentation. Summary of Hero and Leander. Christopher Marlowe's Hero and Leander opens with a dazzling portrait of two extraordinary lovers whose beauty transcends mortal limits. Hero, a virgin priestess devoted to Venus, is described with celestial imagery. Her blue kirtle, stained with the blood of slain suitors, suggests both her divine allure and the dangerous consequences of her beauty. As Venus's nun, she exists in a paradoxical space between sacred purity and erotic power. Leander's beauty is equally remarkable but more ambiguous. His androgynous appearance causes some to mistake him for a maid in man's attire, blending masculine vigor with feminine grace in a way that reflects Renaissance conventions of male beauty while introducing subtle homoerotic undertones. The lovers inhabit opposing shores of the Hellespont, their separation mirroring the tension between sacred duty and human passion. Hero performs rituals in a sacred grove, sacrificing turtle doves to Venus, while surrounded by remnants of her failed suitors, a visual reminder of love's destructive potential. Their fateful meeting occurs during the festival of Adonis, where Marlowe crystallizes their instant attraction in his famous declaration about love at first sight. Leander's subsequent nighttime swim across the Hellespont becomes the poem's most emblematic sequence, blending heroic endeavor with erotic adventure. Stripped naked, his muscular body gliding through moonlit waters, he attracts Neptune's attention in a scene that amplifies the earlier suggestions of homoeroticism. The sea god's passionate pursuit, mistaking Leander for Ganymede, dragging him to the ocean depths, then tenderly caressing each swimming stroke, creates a surreal interlude that both parodies and participates in epic tradition. The lovers' final union in Hero's Tower unfolds with tender awkwardness and sensual revelation. Marlowe crafts an intimate domestic scene where Hero's initial surprise at finding a naked, shivering Leander at her door gives way to practical concern and then to passion. Their hesitant love-making, neither fully experienced nor completely innocent, becomes a poignant metaphor for the human condition, caught between instinct and prohibition. Marlowe's original fragment ends abruptly, leaving the lover's fate unresolved. However, Chapman's continuation adheres to the traditional myth. A storm arises during one of Leander's swims, and he drowns. Hero, discovering his lifeless body, throws herself from her tower in despair, uniting them in death. While Marlowe's portion revels in the lovers' passion and the absurdity of their situation, Chapman's ending restores the tragic tone of earlier versions. Conclusion. Marlowe's Hero and Leander stands out for its lyrical brilliance, rich imagery, and playful tone. By blending Ovidian wit with Elizabethan sensuality, he transforms an ancient tragedy into a vibrant, ironic, and deeply human story. The poem remains a masterpiece of Renaissance literature, celebrating love's power while exposing its folly. Its mock epic style, mythological allusions, and exploration of desire ensure its enduring appeal as both a subversive work and a testament to Marlowe's poetic genius. In Bartholomew Fair, Ben Jonson parodies Marlowe's Hero and Leander in a puppet show, replacing the Hellespont with the Thames and Leander with the dire sun from Puddle Wharf. Around 1628, composer Nicholas Lanier adapted Marlowe's poem into a musical work, possibly one of the earliest English recitatives. King Charles I admired it and frequently requested performances, while Samuel Pepys had it transcribed by his musician Cesar Morelli. Additionally, Hero and Leander is the only contemporary work directly quoted in Shakespeare's plays, appearing in As You Like It. These references highlight its lasting influence on Renaissance literature and music. So this is it for today. We will continue to discuss the history of English literature. Please stay connected with the discourse. Thanks and regards.